Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporter Robert Paris, and Peter Brown with the weather. This is a special edition, and we're going to focus on coronavirus and COVID-19. The question of whether or not this is a hysterical overreaction or a prudent, better to be safe than sorry approach is not going to be answered by us. We're going to take the approach simply of informing you as to what's going on and how it affects Burlington residents and Burlington residents only. The biggest update on that front is that Burlington Public Schools and Shawshene Tech have joined many other schools in the area and closed their doors. The Burlington Public Schools will be closed through at least March 27th, as will the library, by the way, and could, if the situation improves, open up again on the 30th. Shawshene Tech is scheduled to close until March 20th, but that could be extended if necessary. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford spoke to Assistant Superintendent Patrick Larkin about the decision to close the schools. Let's have a look.
So yesterday there were, again, ongoing conference calls with superintendents from around Middlesex County. And I think if people are looking at what's happening, Middlesex County right now has the highest number of presumptive positives. I think it's over 50 at this point, which is more than half of what the state had as of yesterday. So talking to some doctors that know a lot more than we do, the superintendents and I think some town managers were on the call as well. And they talked about the fact that once these start to show up in our communities via community spread, that means it can't be traced back to one particular individual that may have been at the Biogen conference or may have traveled abroad, is when we really have to clamp things down to make sure that we can lower that arc of the infection. So we don't want our local health care to be overwhelmed. We want people to be able to get the health services they can get. And again, we've seen it across the country overnight, different states closing down schools entirely, and it's really about just trying to slow the move of this infection and making sure that healthcare can do what they need to do. And again, keeping people safe and healthy is the number one priority at this point. So I think that's where the superintendents in Middlesex County or the local ones that came up with the decision last night as a group or yesterday afternoon. I think that's where they were coming from. It's totally about health and safety at this point. That's our priority.
Larkin also said that while the schools will not be doing classes online, there are resources available to students and their families.
We're not doing online learning. We've never been set up to do online learning over a long period of time.
Right.
Our distance learning plans a few years ago were really about replacing a couple days at the end of the year. And we could never at this point replicate what our teachers do in a classroom during the course of a day online. So that's not something we're going to try to do. Having said that, we will be posting some online resources that students and families can access just kind of to keep some momentum if they choose to over the course of the break. We also have guidance counselors, trying to make sure any students that need to get in touch with them could do so. So we're setting up some services like that. Already in motion is something for kids that receive and families that need free and reduced lunch through People Helping People, where we're going to have some information going out later today on something where we'll be able to provide some ongoing resources to those families during the 2-week closure. And again, we're going to send out another message to families. We're going to be inundating, so I apologize for all the outgoing information, but we hope it's helpful. There'll be also a link to a Google form if somebody wants to ask a question that they feel hasn't been answered.
Assistant Superintendent Larkin also said that due to a special decision at the state level, the end of the school year will not be impacted. So apparently it's not going to be extended. Decisions about MCAS testing are still being made.
The big thing we do know from our discussions with the commissioner is no school will have to go past their 185th day.
The big question.
So June 24th is our 185th day of school. That will be our last day of school, period. Questions about MCAS testing, we do not know if that will be held. I know they're working on right now a revised schedule for grade 10 because the start of that would happen when a lot of districts are closed right now. And the commissioner reminded us The federal government, again, is the one that mandates that we have these accountability tests. They've already indicated they may give a 1-year hiatus to school districts that ask for it. However, in Massachusetts, it's also a state law on the state level that we do this annual accountability testing. So it would be something that the state legislature would ultimately have to decide. Again, these are things that are off in the future. A lot of this is very fluid. So some questions can't be answered right now.
Rich also spoke with Town Administrator Paul Sagarino about the different town departments, how the different town departments are responding to the virus. He said it's all hands on deck at the municipal level.
Well, first, Rich, what I'd like everybody to know in the town to know is that we have some tremendous people working on this situation. Our Board of Health and our Health Director, Susan Luminello, have been unbelievable. Public safety departments and all other departments are really offering to chip in and help us out in any way that they can to sort of navigate our way through this crisis.
I know a lot of information about what's going on. Last thing on this, from your perspective, if people are out there and they're just worried and uncertain about what's going on, just your sense of how well and how serious everyone's taking this.
The community, again, we've been working on this for several weeks now, and again, we have top-notch professionals in our departments. I think the message that's been given really does hold true. Don't panic. There's no particular additional concern other than in Burlington than there is anywhere else. I think the simple preventative measures that have been spread out there, don't congregate in large groups, don't take any unnecessary risks, and in particular, focus on our elderly and those with medical conditions to keep them out of risky situations, I think is all great advice. The basics, wash your hands, all those types of things are really simple ways that we can sort of help, stop the spread of this thing.
The town administrator also touched on the potential impact on the upcoming town election in April and other big municipal gatherings.
Town clerk Amy Warfield is working on this issues. We don't have anything to report right now, but she's actively engaged in working through the legal process and working with our town council just so that we can understand our options as we move forward. Currently, we require a court order to change the election date, but it's something that she's looking into just in the event that we need to do something like that. So I will defer to her. She's also considering town meeting.
Along with the schools, the senior center is also closing for the foreseeable future. Council on Aging Marge McDonald, director, was in here with us and has this message to seniors.
Hello, I'm Marge McDonald from the Burlington Council on Aging. On Thursday, March 12th, we made the excruciating but necessary decision to cancel programs and activities at the Senior Center until further notice. I care about all of you and feel strongly in the reason the Senior Center exists, and I cannot tell you how much this decision hurts me, as I know that for many, we are the lifeline that gets you up and dressed in the morning. 600 of you have been to the center for activities since January, and I will certainly miss seeing you all over the next few weeks. Please make sure that you remain active. You can't gather in large groups, but you can talk on the phone, maybe go for a walk together, or as long as you feel good, maybe visit each other. If you feel a little off, please make sure you don't go see your friends, as according to Board of Health Director Susan Luminello, that could be day one before you get the fever and cough. Try to keep some distance from people when with them, but you can be near someone for less than 15 minutes and be relatively safe. So the Senior Center will have no activities, but staff will be there, and home-delivered meals will still go out to the folks that receive them. We will keep the tax appointments since those are one-on-one and still need to be done. We will still provide medical rides, and the outreach workers will still work with folks that need them. We do ask that you call them first to see if it's something we can do over the phone, but they will certainly meet with people if need be. We will check in on folks who come to the center on a regular basis to chat and see how things are going. But if you want, you can certainly call us to chat, or if you need something. Staff will be in the office and available to you as we always are, just maybe by phone for now. For those that have a computer, I will try to post something on Facebook every day. Feel free to comment on those posts and connect with each other. Remember to wash your hands frequently and don't touch your face, something I can't seem to do. If you are under the age of 60 and watching this, we need your help more than ever to help those that are frailer and more vulnerable. We ask that those with an older neighbor check in on them regularly. Many don't drive or may be afraid to go out in public, particularly if they have a medical condition and may need you to pick up prescriptions or a few things at the grocery store for them. And many will be isolating themselves, even though that is the worst thing you can do for healthy aging. If you are worried about them, call the Council on Aging. We'll check on them as well. Of course, we ask that if you are exhibiting any symptoms yourself that you don't go near anyone older. If you need resources and we aren't available, call 211. They are staffed with operators 24/7 and can help you find what you need. The most important thing to keep you off from going crazy is to turn off the 24-hour news cycle and do something you enjoy. Read a book, take a walk, or go fishing. Just get your mind off what's going on and enjoy yourselves. That's all for now. I'm Marge McDonald, and I look forward to seeing you all back at the Senior Center soon.
Oh, along with the schools and the Senior Center, the Parks and Recreation Department has also canceled the remainder of its winter programming and has suspended registration for spring activities. The Burlington Public Library is also closing starting on Saturday, March 14th, and will tentatively reopen on Saturday, March 28th. During this time, due dates and any holds ready to pick up will be extended through the date they reopen. Library staff are still there to assist with all your informational and recreational needs. Ebooks, audiobooks, comics, movies, music, television shows, and scholarly databases are all available through their e-library. Most importantly, staff will still be available to answer any of your questions via email or phone from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday. Call the library at 781-270-1690 or email our reference department at ref@burlingtonpl.org and they'll be happy to assist you. Since last week's BNEWS Weekly, there has been a lot of changes with the coronavirus. We have been in continuous connection with the Board of Health in our effort to bring clear facts and solid advice from our local experts. Here is Dr. Wayne Saltzman, who was in on Wednesday after the news that the World Health Organization labeled the situation a pandemic, on what that means and how residents can best try to protect themselves.
Hi everyone, Dr. Wayne Saltzman, geriatrician and Board of Health elected member, just working to keep you all informed about COVID-19. The past 24 hours has seen a lot of changes, and we know that there's a lot of information coming through, it seems, on an hourly basis. But this is really the main points that we know right now. Number one, the World Health Organization has declared that COVID-19 is a pandemic. Scary word. All it means is that COVID-19 has spread to enough countries and affected enough people to satisfy the World Health Organization definition of pandemic. Doesn't mean anything else. Doesn't mean severity of illness or anything else like that. Just the spread. Number two, Governor Baker has declared Massachusetts in a state of emergency. Another scary term. What does it mean? It means that there have been enough cases in Massachusetts, 92 cases to date, fortunately no deaths, that Governor Baker thought that he would need additional resources to help mitigate and suppress the spread of COVID-19. It really has to do about funds, and now he can access emergency funds, as well as take steps to make sure that he has the power to look at events and look at state offices and come up with better plans in which to suppress COVID-19. Number three, the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, the World Health Organization, and the Center for Disease Control are really our sources of truth. And the Burlington Board of Health is working to take information from all three sources and to bring it together in a form that we all can understand on a regular basis, typically daily. Director Susan Luminello is putting this information at burlington.org in the tab that says Public Health Alerts. If you go to that section, you will find the latest information on COVID-19. Until then, precautions remain the same. Hand washing, hand washing, hand washing. I know that supplies of alcohol sanitizer are low, but there's plenty of soap. Hand washing, hand washing, hand washing. Protecting others from your own sneezes or coughs by trying to isolate as you can. Staying home if you're feeling ill. Talk to your doctor if you have symptoms, fever, cough, and if you become short of breath. Call your doctor, let your doctor know what's going on. As always, we'll keep you updated. Burlington.org, Public Health Alerts. I'm Dr. Wayne Saltzman. Be safe. Take care.
Finally, Burlington Health Director Susan Luminello spoke at this week's Board of Health meeting about what she and her department have been doing to prevent the spread of the virus in town.
But I just wanted to get everybody aware of what the situation could be and start thinking about what's going on. And I'm continuing to collaborate with the town administration and then the various town departments to start thinking about implementing strategies, things like reaching out to employees regarding sick leave, employee protocols for conducting home inspections if people are going into the home or home visits. Signs outside of town buildings, a sign that says, if you're feeling ill, you don't have to come into a town building. You can do a lot of business online. So it's a description of the business that they can do online. That's also in your materials. If they're feeling sick. We met with facilities for the schools and for the town to give them information about cleaning procedures and reminding them to do regular cleanings. I mentioned we had the hand washing signs in all the restrooms. We also put up the DPH COVID-19 signs, the facts. So we're having, I'm providing regular updates to the emergency management team as well. We met with the department heads, all the department heads, to give them this information, have them start thinking about things like if someone comes into the building and appears to be sick, you want to stay 6 feet away from them, wipe down their counters often, that type of thing, and not to come to work if they're sick or not feeling well. I had regular individual meetings with the Council on Aging, the DPW, the Recreation Department, and Youth and Family Services about things that those individual departments should be doing and maybe about things that they should be thinking about in the future if this continues.
BCAT will continue to work hard to bring you the latest local information on the situation. You can best stay informed by signing up for our newsletter, which recently has been sent out more than once daily at bcattv.org/bnews. And don't forget burlington.org, and you can click on the Public Health Alert tab on the main page. One additional bit of information on the virus. Attorney General Maura Healey is warning Massachusetts residents to be on alert for individuals and businesses that may try to take advantage of uncertainty about the coronavirus. She says consumers should watch out for high-priced or low-quality products that are being peddled mostly online. She said products like hand sanitizer and face masks are being sold at overly high prices, and that some research into alternative sources should be done before becoming a victim of price gouging. There's always somebody who wants to take advantage of a situation. Healey also said not to trust anyone offering vaccinations or other treatments. There is currently no vaccine for the coronavirus, and the AG's office stresses that the public should ignore online offers for vaccinations, medicine, and other treatments. Finally, Healey warns that scammers may try to steal your money and information by sending phony communications via phone calls, emails, and texts. If a stranger claiming to be an expert on coronavirus contacts you, ignore them. Also be on guard for fake charities saying they're helping those impacted by the coronavirus. If you'd like to donate to a charity focused on addressing the coronavirus, do your homework to maximize your contribution. Make sure you verify that the charity is legitimate. Donate by check or credit card and not by cash, and don't be pressured into making a contribution. If you have any question about such things, you can always donate your money to People Helping People here in Burlington, which will certainly take care of local residents. Selectman Bob Hogan, who has been absent for the last couple of Board of Selectmen meetings, had a statement read by another member on the board to update the community on the reason he has been out. According to a notice read by Selectman Jimmy Tigas, Hogan had major heart surgery and has been under strict doctor's orders about his care. Tigger said Hogan wants to thank everyone for reaching out with get well cards and emails. He added that Hogan has a new set of doctor visits coming up, so we'll know more about his ability to attend gatherings like selectmen meetings and other public gatherings over the next week or two. We're hoping for his quick recovery, Tigger said. We wish him well. We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown in our weather center for this week's forecast. Unfortunately, due to most events being closed, we will not have a community calendar this week. Here's Peter with the weather.
Hope everybody is feeling well. I know we've been having quite a spate of bad news over the past couple of weeks, and we are going to hopefully bring you some good news in terms of our weather coming up for the next 7 days. Now, starting on our period on Friday, I know on top of everything else that we've been going through, it is Friday the 13th, and we have a full moon as well. So add it all together, but one thing you can count on will at least be the weather. It looks like we're going to have some pretty nice conditions out there. Temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60, so pretty pleasant if you have to be out there doing anything, getting prepared, if you have to stay home from work or school. Now, that's going to be well above our average, which is usually in the mid-40s at this time of the year. And again, that's nothing new. This winter has certainly been mild. We're going to be, again, not near those record highs, but we're certainly going to be far, far away from those record low temperatures that we can see still down in the low teens at this time of the year. As we round out our period on Thursday, March 19th, yes, this is the first day of spring, so that is great news. Our average highs that time of the year should be near 50. It looks like we're going to probably best that again by 5 to 10 degrees. And of course, the best thing, of course, is since we went through daylight savings time this past Sunday, the sun is now up until almost 7 o'clock at night. So if you do have to be out there and make any preparations for what's been going on, at least you do have that on your side. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what we're expecting in terms of temperatures and precipitation in our area for the next 7 to 10 days. And this map from the Climate Prediction Center, again, something that we've seen a lot of over the past couple of months. Looks like we're expecting a chance of a little bit above average precipitation. In fact, we really could do with that. It's actually getting pretty dry out there. We haven't really, of course, had anything in terms of snowfall and very little rainfall over the past few weeks. Again, if you're heading down south at all, down towards Florida or out to the Pacific Northwest, looks like it's going to be pretty dry out there as well. As we go ahead, let's take a look at what we're expecting in means of temperatures. And again, this is going to be something we've seen plenty of going back to the middle of December. Our area here in Burlington area, all of New England, all the way down to Florida and out to Texas, a chance of above average temperatures. If you're looking for anything kind of chilly, I don't know why you really would be right now. You're going to be heading out to the Pacific Northwest and out to the Rockies in Montana. That's where the cold air is going to be staying. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at some of that pretty good weather that we have coming up for the next 7 days. Again, stepping out there on Friday, looks like we're going to have a little bit in the way of some morning rain. But once that rain clears out in the mid-morning, temperatures are going to climb up to near 60. So pretty nice out there. And of course, if you have to be out at all Friday night into Saturday morning, doesn't look like the temperatures are going to be that chilly, about where they should be at this time of the year. Now, getting into the weekend, if you have to get out there, have to get to any stores to try and prepare to work from home or working at home, taking classes for school, looks like you're going to have fair weather conditions, pretty much all sunshine, a little fair weather clouds, and temperatures about average in the mid-40s. Now, as we start out with the work week on Monday, we're going to see a little bit cooler, temperatures a little bit below average by a few degrees, about 46. And as we get into Tuesday through Thursday, it looks like we're going to be introducing the chance of maybe some showers, but that's also going to bring with it some warmer weather. In fact, looking at the latest model projections, by the time we get out to the Wednesday and Thursday time frame, I wouldn't be surprised to see temperatures probably up to near 60 or into the 60s. So at least that's a little bit of a silver lining with everything that's been going on. So everyone, if you have to get out there, go out, stay healthy, and enjoy the weather.
We don't have a normal sports report this week as the winter season has come to an end. However, we do have some good news to report. Juniors Cam and Zach Soda maintained Burlington's excellent wrestling reputation across the state when they came up big when they won both the New England Wrestling Championship in their weight classes to wrap up a great season. BNews reporter Robert Paris has this report.
Since 2017, juniors Cam and Zach Soda have been executing and competing on the Red Devil wrestling mat. This time, they went to the New England Championship, and the outcome couldn't be better. They were named champs.
It's amazing. We've been working for this accomplishment all year long, and even since freshman year, this is what we wanted to do.
Yeah, it's been one of my goals for a long time now. Like, this is what we work for. Come in here, train every day, and this is what we prepare to do.
It's been huge, and it's been a season-long thing for them. These guys put in the work more than just about any high school student I've ever seen. They're 12 months a year wrestlers. They're 7-day-a-week wrestlers at club, and I'm really happy that it all paid off for them. I've seen them put more effort into this than anything I've ever seen any high school kid put into anything, to be honest, and I'm really happy that it paid off.
In addition to the victories, the Sodas will join BHS alumni Ricky Covino, class of 1983, Jeremy Royds, class of 1995, and Matt Sherman, class of 2010. Zach and Cam are the first to do it as juniors and are the 4th and 5th athletes to do it for the Red Devil Wrestling program.
In the history of Burlington Wrestling, we had 3 New England champions. We had Ricky Covino in 1983, we had Jeremy Royds in 95, and we had Matt Sherman in 2010. So, it's very elite company, and we've had many, many state champions come through here. But that right side of the board, the New England place winners, it's pretty rare to even place at this tournament, let alone be a champion. And have 2 of them do it in the same year is just unbelievable.
Being in like those elite group of people and making history together as juniors, doing it before any seniors could do it, it's amazing.
Kind of just what he said, just doing it before all those seniors that did it before us, even being with them.
Lastly, the Sodas are looking to build on their success in the coming years.
This sport's not for everybody. I always think of it as, our sport is a 6-minute fight, and that's not for everybody. So despite having the low numbers, to be able to cap it off with some individual success at the end of the year has been an amazing feat, and I can't wait for next year.
Now that we're on top, we got to work even harder to stay there for next year.
Yeah, I just want to keep it rolling into my senior season and win another New England title.
From the BHS Red Devil Wrestling Room, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
What's even more extraordinary is in my research in this subject matter, I wasn't able to find 2 brothers who won the state championship, won the New England championship in the same year in different weight classes. Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo is a bit of a personal indulgence for the guy writing the script. It is from BNews director Rich Hosford and features his new nephew, Lachlan Forbes Bartlett, who was born to Alicia and Angus Bartlett on February 14th. He was born weighing 7 pounds, 13.2 ounces, and at the time of this photo, he was about 3 weeks old. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or photos of your family members, friends, and pets, whatever you think is interesting and would like to share with us in the community. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line, Photo of the Week. Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNews Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNews Director Rich Hosford, BNews reporter Robert Paris, and Peter Brown with the weather. Don't forget to wash your hands. Don't forget to burlington.org and look for the public health alert. Thank you.